And they're set to go now. The starter mounts the rostrum. Gates open, they're off and they're racing, and a good dispatch as well. One of the best away, Director holding his position nearer the inside with Mr. Wolf, and also Arif is on the charge with Mr. Paul Andre. So Director joined by Mr. Paul Andre. Then came Arif, Mr. Wolf, and Mr. Armstrong's back on the inside. Wind Chaser racing wide from Sacred Galaxy, the centre. And then came Mr. Scorsese poking through along the inside with First Precinct. Behind those then is Star Invincible, Star Strike and Meteor Star, the last one. They're on to the long course. On the uphill climb they go with 1,000 metres left to travel. And Director leads the way by a length to Mr. Paul Andre. Mr. Armstrong is tucked away behind the leader, racing third from Arif. Wind Chaser has been wide from the outset. It's racing fifth. Behind those then is Sacred Galaxy, Star Invincible, Mr. Wolf, Mr. Scorsese, First Precinct. And then came Star Strike, and last of all is Meteor Star. They're homeward bound. They've got about 600 to go. Director is moving away from the rail and presenting the saloon passage there for Mr. Armstrong and also Arif. And here's Star Invincible winding up for Sandana down the outside. It's still Director the leader. Now tackled by Arif. Star Invincible, Mr. Armstrong, Mr. Wolf is also making some late headway with Mr. Scorsese. It's still Director in front. Now tackled by Arif below the 200. And Arif goes to the lead and is now starting to pull away from them with Director. Meteor Star, Mr. Scorsese. It's Arif in front though. It's Arif who wins again. 3 in a row. Arif from either Mr. Scorsese or Director. Then came Star Invincible, Meteor Star. First Precinct and then Star Strike, Mr. Armstrong. Sacred Galaxy, Mr. Paul Andre, Mr. Wolf. And then Wind Chaser. So, another victory for the Penang horse Arif under R. Reuven. He kept finding under pressure. And Reuven has been aboard this horse at its last 3 starts for 3 wins. So R. Reuven maintains his unbeaten record aboard the gelding. Stepping up to Class 3 grade today. Gets the job done. Mr. Scorsese was thundering home along the inside, but gee, there were many winning chances there in the home straight. They were spread across the track. Director hangs on for third. He ended up in the middle of the track. Director, Star Invincible, who loomed up ominously at one stage, has run fourth. A Meteor Star found the line well from near the back. So Arif, 63 and 26. Up in grade today, but has defied the class rise and still pays well. So 63 and 26 the return there for the 8. Number 4, Mr. Scorsese will pay 10 the place. Number 1, Director pays 5. Number 8, Arif, a 6-year-old bay gelding. He's an Irish bred by Naif out of Arjalaya. Trained and raced by Cherie Hamilton and ridden by R. Reuven. Reuven's been aboard the horse its last 3 starts, so he's got a good affiliation with the 6-year-old campaigner Arif and raced on the speed today. Simply too good for them. The runner-up is number 4, Mr. Scorsese. Shane Ellis for Oscar Racing and ridden by S. Rosani. And third is number 1, Director Johnny Lim for the Century Stable and ridden by Azai Muddin. And fourth is number 5, Star Invincible. Charles Leck for Nova Racing. Sandana was the rider there. The time is 136.2, 136.2. Your margins are 3/4 by a short head with a length and a quarter to fourth. It was 3/4 a short head, 1 1/4 to fourth in 136.2. The numbers are 8, 4, 1 and 5. And Arif now takes the record to 42 starts for 6 wins, 11 placings, 3 in a row. And his first run here in Class 3 company. He gets the job done. He is racing in very good form at the moment for trainer Cherie Hamilton with R. Reuven aboard. Arif wins race 4 and